Okay, yeah. My name is Natalie Ceelen. I'm a second-year genetic counseling student. So in high school, my younger brother was diagnosed with osteosarcoma, which is a rare form of bone cancer. And in the middle of his treatment, he underwent like a limb salvage surgery. And so they wanted to save his arm, and they actually sent out his tumor for genetic testing to see if there's any somatic mutations that could help guide his treatment. And I was just fascinated by the fact that you could do that and really tailor someone's treatment to their genetics and to their cancer. And so that really was my first introduction to how genetics can be used in healthcare. And so going to the University of Wisconsin-Madison for undergrad, I knew I wanted to study genetics. And I actually had a friend who was older than me that was a genetic counseling assistant at UNC Chapel Hill. And so I reached out to her to see, just like learn about her experience. And she actually worked in an oncology unit, and so she was telling me how her genetic counselors worked really closely with oncologists, and how it was, they did genetic testing to not only learn about, again, the somatic mutations to help guide treatment, but also to see if they're at increased risk for future cancers. And so that was a full circle moment for me, because it really brought me back to when my brother was diagnosed, when they sent out his tumor for that somatic testing, and I knew in that moment I wanted to do genetic testing or genetic counseling. After grad, I went to Philadelphia and worked as a genetic counseling assistant at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. And so that was an amazing experience, and took the leap to apply to grad school and came here. And so I've loved my experience. While I was reading about Vanderbilt, it was just so clear on their website, but also after like interviewing and talking to them, how much they value collaboration, and they not only welcome questions, but they actually really encourage questions. That was really appealing to me because I'm a very collaborative person. That's how I learn. I love to talk things out. I love to draw things out. And I would also say the clinical rotations that Vanderbilt offers is something that I've never seen before, a different program. There we go, we have 2 bi-week rotations, and you rotate twice through prenatal, peds, and cancer. And so at different points throughout your curriculum, you can revisit them. And I think that just really helps people practice new skills as they grow as a genetic counselor, and really solidifies, again, like the more you know, the more you can practice and implement. They really let you take on as much as you want to do. And so that is awesome, but also in my case, I was a little timid at first, especially to have those hard conversations, disclose those positive results. And so they lightly and gently give you a little push, and it's very nice, and they encourage you to do as much as you can, because your skills are more developed than you think they are. And so they always remind you that they're right there. And so I would say it's a very mentoring environment, it's a safe environment. Everyone wants you to succeed. I also really liked we have an opportunity to go through Shade Tree Clinic, and so that's an underinsured or uninsured population that we can counsel, and I don't think any other program offers that. And it was just a unique opportunity to counsel people that we may not have be able to counsel before, but also do some public health service, and also work with med students, social work students, and nurses. And it was a really fun environment, and made Vanderbilt like kind of a small unit. Coming into the graduate program, I only had like bench work, research experience in undergrad. I actually found the opportunity to do my thesis with St. Jude. My thesis was about identifying the barriers and facilitators that adolescents and young adults with cancer predisposition syndrome face as they transition from a pediatric to adult healthcare center. My thesis advisor is Lillian Grieve, who is a pediatric genetic counselor in the Cancer Predisposition Clinic at St. Jude. She's been literally the best. I couldn't imagine another thesis advisor. She's always there to answer my questions, jump on a quick call. We spent so many hours coding our interviews. I actually had the opportunity to present my thesis at American College of Medical Genetics and Genomics conference in Baltimore this past March. And the leadership at Vanderbilt were so encouraging of me to apply, and also my thesis committee. And so it got accepted, which was amazing. And then me and another classmate went to Baltimore for our spring break, and it was a great experience. I never thought I would do like a conference or like present at a conference, especially a national conference. And so that was an amazing opportunity. I also had the opportunity to do my elective rotation at St. Jude. And so that was like awesome to implement what I learned through those interviews to practice, but also meet more of the team and really just see what, because all these participants were from St. Jude or St. Jude patients. And so that was awesome to just learn the ins and outs of the cancer predisposition clinic. And, well, I would say the people for sure, like my favorite part of the program. I think everyone's like such a family, and leadership of Martha Dudek, Jill Slayman, and Kyle Davis. They are like really there for you at every point and every stage of this 2-year program, but they really are the biggest cheerleaders for us, and they like celebrate every win, and they also like are there for you when you're stumbling or just like need extra support, and they create such a safe place that you just like don't feel like you're being a burden at all. And so I would say that is just them being so gracious has really impacted and built my confidence in myself, but also my ability to just take on all these different roles. Literally this time, or in August, like 2 years ago, I was like walking to class, I was getting very lost, I was very nervous, like at orientation, meeting my classmates, like for the first time, knowing how small it was gonna be. And then now, like a week away from walking across the stage, we have become best friends. Like they are my support system. I have never met anyone like them. They are just, we're all so different, but we work so well together, and we've all walked different paths of life, and we just meld together so well. And yeah, I couldn't do this program without them. They are just, they're always there to cheer each other on. We're like pick each other when we fall down. We're like leaning on each other. I'm like so sad that I'm not gonna be with them, but we're already planning like when we're gonna visit people in like their new cities. We're taking a Europe trip next year. Like we're doing all the things, and I am so excited to see them and like continue growing. But it's just gonna have to be through the phone. So I definitely think that peds is where I am meant to be as a genetic counselor, and especially with all of the opportunities I've had throughout grad school, but also I was a respite care provider, so I cared for a young boy with severe autism and just through CHOP, and I think every road really led to peds. But I would love to work on a large team in an academic center that really fosters that collaboration, continues that collaboration, working with medical geneticists and having the opportunity to work with PT, OT, dietitians, other specialties, and having a part outpatient, so seeing patients on the typical outpatient clinic. I also would love to work in a program that has a MGC program, so being part of a program and helping with research or clinical rotations, being a supervisor. And yeah, I think being with students will definitely help me just grow as a professional and give back to the growing field as much as I can, because it's niche, but we're mighty. So I would say that definitely just lean into the process. It's emotionally hard also because you're learning about how to have those hard conversations with families, and you're going to doubt yourself. You're going to feel like maybe you're never going to be a genetic counselor, but I would say just lean into it, because those are all, there's no comforting growth. Really rely on the leadership and also your cohort. Your cohort are the only people that actually know what's it like to go through this process. But yeah, it's going to be an amazing experience. It goes 2 years, not in the moment, you won't feel like this, but it goes by so fast. And it's just the best experience, because I definitely am not the person I was when I walked into the doors for the first time. And yeah, I just really can't thank the leadership and my classmates and my friends. They've really become my best friends, and supervisors and all of them more, because this was the best experience. So I would say just have the time of your life.